Hello everyone, and this is Palladium PD. Welcome to the JL2579 and Code-Raider Quad Witch Hunt. Here is a selection of seeds which I think have some interesting features. First of all, this seed, which is the least interesting of the lot. I'm saving the best for last. This particular Quad Witch setup was spawned right next to the ocean, and also most of this swamp area is in fact ocean. You can see the green water is swamp and blue water is the ocean. What was interesting about this seed is this witch hat here, which has amusingly high poles that it's standing on. Alright, so with that out of the way, I want to show you some more interesting stuff. Also, one thing I want to mention is that for the purpose of your viewing pleasure, I have increased the render distance to far plus 48, which instead of giving us 256 chunks to see, it gives us 484 chunks to see. This particular seed, the other thing I've done is that I'm rendering this in the full 1080p with some difficulties on mine. So I hope that you enjoy it. Anyway, this particular seed is interesting because look, I have here a jungle temple, and the Sphax Pure BDcraft texture pack has a very strong difference between the color of sandstone, sandstone, cobblestone, and so on, between, say, a jungle biome and the swamp biome. So you can see that this temple is very largely in the swamp biome. There's all of this and a considerable portion of this. So this is a very nice seed if you want to turn a jungle temple into a witch farm. And I'm almost 100% sure that witches do spawn in here, even though I've heard information to the contrary before. I tested it once before, and I will test it again in this video. So that will hopefully prove it to you. Anyway, this lag that you're seeing, this is just because I'm rendering so many chunks. Because I increased the render distance by almost the square root of 2, this almost doubles the number of chunks that have to be rendered, and it also increases the number of chunks in a particular scene, like this, by 100% as well. So I hope that this doesn't decrease your viewing pleasure. This is certainly not how I play Minecraft normally. Anyway, I can see it's getting dark, so it's time to move on to the next seed. But before I do that, I will show you what the seed is. There you go. If you want to use this seed, that is your target, and the coordinates of this are x -1353 and z 1697. Here you see a jungle temple which is just on the cusp of entering into a swamp biome, but it is not in a swamp biome. Most of this is river, I believe. So this is no good for your witch spawning needs. But I thought I would show it to you because it's interesting. The temple has spawned almost just on its own, almost in the air. There's only a very little amount of it actually in the ground. Most of it is just sitting out into space. So it's kind of an interesting generation. I just wanted to show you it because it's slightly amusing and perhaps a little bit interesting. This is also a quad witch seed. However, this is not where the quad witch hut is. I had a look around in all of the seeds to see if there were jungle temples or particularly desert temples that were close to swamps, and in this seed I found this temple which was close to the swamp, but unfortunately it is not actually in the swamp. Anyway, if you want the seed, I will show you it, but it's not going to be that useful probably. There it is, and the location of this is on your screen at the moment. So if you want to have a look, that's the way. Okay, here we are in one of my favorite seeds. There's a witch hut there. There's another one there. There should be another one there, but there isn't. Probably because the generation algorithm doesn't generate it if it's in a if it starts in a river biome, and I think that this one probably would have started in a river biome. So I believe that the way the algorithm checks is if there are 4 structures close together and if the center is a swamp. So that means there's a good chance that they're all witch huts. But in this case, that wasn't the case, and the 4th one isn't a witch hut either. The 4th one is something special. This is a desert temple, and as you can see, I have marked out with red wool where it is within the swamp. None of it's river, all of it's swamp biome. As you can see, all of this is swamp, which means that you can make a very, very successful and high productivity witch farm just based on this temple, and then you have a witch hut over there and another one over there to help you along. So this is one of the seeds that I really like. I counted how many blocks are exactly in swamp biome, but I can't remember as it stands. And one of the great things about temples is they're not only wider, but they're also higher. The witches can spawn down here, and you can actually have a number of layers, but I'll go into that a little bit later. If you want the seed, here it is. One of the things we're looking for in this quad seed hunt is for the witch huts to be completely within the swamp biome. And that is one area where this particular seed really shines. Here we have one hut, and it is totally within the swamp biome, as you can see. There's another hut over here. Ooh, man. Not so sure about this render distance now. It is very, very laggy. Anyway, here we have another hut. This one too is completely within the swamp biome. As you can see, no blocks missing. And over here, there's another hut. And it too is completely within the swamp biome. So between these 3 witch huts, you've got 2 floors each, 9 by 7. So that's 63 times 6, which is a very nice large number. But this seed is my favorite for a rather different reason. Over here we have another desert temple, and this one is even more inside the swamp biome. In fact, I think this is one of the more into a swamp biome desert temples it's possible to be, because from what I've found in my searches, they generally don't seem to be generated as desert temples if the center would be in the swamp. See, this center is just 1 block away from where the witch's spawn area is. So if this desert temple was 2 blocks over this way or 2 blocks over this way, it probably would have been generated as a swamp hut. So This is by far my favorite seed, I think. If I wanted to start a new world, this is the one I would use. There are other amenities, the stronghold and the mushroom biomes, not so close. And I haven't searched for dual blaze spawners, but I think that this is definitely one of the best. The seed is there for you, and as are the coordinates. And now what I want to do is show you that witches can in fact spawn on this temple. So I'm going to set it to nighttime. There we go, and I think I better check, yep, difficulty is correct. So, up we go. We're going to make this temple the only place where mobs can spawn. And then we're going to come down and have a look what the results are. The results apparently are much lag. Okay, so at the moment I'm pretty much out of range of most of the spawnable surfaces. Now I'm going to slowly decrease my altitude so that hopefully we will get a bunch of monsters spawning on the temple and pretty much nowhere else. Oops, no, not sticky keys, I don't want that. No. Okay, let's take a look. There you are, you see 3 witches spawned on top of here, and some more are walking around here. So clearly, witches can definitely spawn on this desert temple. I didn't do any cuts or anything like that, so you can. There was no trickery involved. And just to show you again, I will take 65 plus 128. Let's see, that's 180. 193. So I'm going to go out of range, hopefully, actually the easiest way to do it would be simply go into peaceful mode. That's what I'll do. I'll go to 193 approximately. Alright, all the mobs are gone. Now I'll wait here for 1 minute and then I'll be back. Alright, 1 minute hasn't quite elapsed, but I wonder if you can see in that grassy area of the swamp, you might be able to see slimes spawning in every now and again. That's the mob spawning algorithm trying to get slimes to spawn. And look at that, we've got tons and tons of witches already here and other mobs in the desert area. So this shows very clearly that witches can in fact spawn in this area of the desert temple. And I've tested this in the newest snapshot that I had to hand, which was 13W04A, and they also spawned similarly. So this is a feature I don't think that is going away too soon, and even if it does, you should still be okay with the other 3 swamps if you choose this particular seed. Anyway, if you want to play it safe, you could choose a 4 witch hut, but I think that this particular setup will give you a lot more resources. Now, I said before that you can make multiple layers. I tested with one of those mob testing okay, I'm going to have to change to a different render resistance. 1 minute. What I meant, of course, is a mod that tells you which mobs can spawn where. And the mod tells me that witches can spawn on top of that block, this one, and this one, and this one, but if you go one higher, I don't think they can spawn. Anyway, you can test that yourself as well. You don't have to take my word for it. The seed is available for you now, as are the coordinates, x20, z1417. And this is definitely my favorite seed of the lot. I've looked at other seeds that the other people have contributed, and I haven't found one as nice as this yet. If you don't want to go with the temple, if you think that that's going to be nerfed or in some way removed, then you've still got 3 perfect witch huts that will give you loads and loads of resources. So it's low risk. In addition to which, the sheer amount of spawn spaces that you can get from this temple, in addition to the other 3 witch huts, is going to give you so much resources you will probably not even know what to do with them. Even someone like JL2579 might have trouble using all of the TNT redstone and glow dust water bottles, spider eyes, sticks, and so on that you can get from these witches if you were to run this constantly. Now, I do want to give a shout out to the Code-Raider who wrote this little piece of code to find this conjunction of 4 structures in a swamp. He's done a brilliant job, and I think that JL2579 has also done an excellent job improving the code and making it faster. It certainly ran a lot faster on my system after he improved it, almost twice as fast. And that's one of the reasons I was able to find this seed. So, if you like it, share this video, show it to your friends, perhaps even, if you want, use the seed in your server. I have absolutely no skin in this game, so use what you need, and if you don't want to use it, that is fine by me as well, of course. But I hope you've enjoyed this video. I've certainly enjoyed making it, and I've certainly enjoyed crunching numbers for hours and hours trying to find lovely seeds like this. This is Palladium PD, and I'm signing out.